What's good with it in the hood with it? Welcome back to the Collective Clips where you already know we get it in, right? But before we get it in, let's hit that like and subscribe button. Put your notification bell on also that way you're directed in the direction of the dope content I'm kicking. And I highly appreciate the support, man. Let's get it. I'm very humble. Now, there's a lot of things going on, man. And one of the things I picked up on lately, I was chopping it up with the homeboy from Sanho, and we were having a good conversation. And he told me San Jose is up, right? And what he means by up is, you know, all the gang-related issues and things that are going on north and south in the city of San Jose. I mean, it's on fire right now. And it does that, man. It seems like it's waves. And it seems like, you know, for a while there will be a lot of viciousness and treachery going on out there. A lot of people getting hit. And I think that kind of depends on who's getting in and out of prison, man. When real ones get out on the streets, you know, people take notice and things start to happen, you know, and it's always based upon someone getting out. I remember myself getting out of prison. Every time I got out, you know, I was functioning. I wanted to, you know, not stir up chaos, but I was always wondering why everybody was slacking while I was macking, right? While I was doing my time, you know, holding it down for my peoples or whatever, there was a lot of nothing going on the streets. So it seemed like every time myself or anyone else got out, man, the town started to bubble and the percolation got real. I mean, that's just the way it was. And I'm not necessarily saying just me. There was a lot of other people also that had that same rhythm. It just seemed that when certain individuals got in and out of prison, things started to pop. But, you know, I happened to be looking at YouTube and seeing several content creators drop videos on, you know, another massacre, another tragedy that happened similar to the Goshen massacre, where children, you know, of course, came up short and their lives were taken. But in this incident, man, you know, this happened in King City, where 11 people were shot at a party. Now, what makes this a little bit different than other missions and other things that happen is I don't think this was just random. You know, I don't think this was just guys passing by in a car and they seen a whole bunch of vatos standing in the front and decided, La Primera lives. I don't see that. What I actually see with this situation is something methodical and something that was planned out and target practice, you know. And it's unfortunate because there's a lot of innocent people at parties that are not even involved, you know, in gang-related issues or in, you know, they're not the opposition involved in what's going on. You know, and that's the cool part of the game. That's why in this day and age, where we live nowadays, you can't be out there after dark, man. You know, my grandfather told me once, anything past 10, you're going to be in it again, right? There's nothing for you out there. You know, but it's cold-blooded that you can't even go to a party, enjoy yourself with familia, because your primo might be an active gang member, might be involved in the mix, might have done something to someone, man, and the retaliation is a must where they're from. They're coming, right? And, you know, with North and South in Northern California, you know, you don't have North and South issues in the South, in Southern California. What you have in Southern California is a whole bunch of vatos, man, and amigas from different barrios, and it's all territorial down there, and it's barrio warfare. But for the most part, man, I watch TikTok, I watch YouTube, and I see a lot of people interacting at that Santa Fe, the spring, whatever they're doing down there, man. They're all having fun. It looks like a good time. It looks like a lot of old school veteranos, Chicanos, cholos, enjoying themselves. I see a lot of canalismo and a lot of fucking love, chicanismo down south in Southern California. Northern California is a war zone. Okay, Northern California is a little bit different because what you have are upstate Southsiders established, and of course you have Norteños who have been there for decades. So that war is raging on, whether we see it a lot or we don't. I'm just here to tell you, man, it's something that's, you know, that I fought, the battles I fought in, and it just continues. And it's even worse now because you can't tell the difference. See, back in our days, we could tell the difference. In the late 80s, early 90s, you know, we knew what a Southsider looked like. We knew what a Norteño looked like. There was vast differences, okay, in style, dress, you know, cadence, the way people talked, carried themselves, the music they listened to. You just knew who was what and what was who. Nowadays, they all look the same. You know, a lot of vatos got the Pontius Pilate haircut and fingernails and toenails painted, so you just don't know. But there are a lot of old school stilo when it comes. There is a lot of old school stilo when it comes to North and South. So there are still vatos that know the difference, right? It's just hard to decide. It's harder to decipher nowadays. So anyways, man, this tragedy that happened in King City, supposedly there or allegedly there was a party going on, and 3 masked individuals decided to pull up and pop, right? They decided to Steph Curry. They decided to Splash Brothers. So they jumped off this vehicle and started to shoot into the crowd. And it's an unfortunate thing when you shoot into a crowd because there's women, there's children, there's innocents, there's civilians that could get hit. Now, in the gang life, you're always going to be told about casualties of war. When your opposition is doing something and you catch them lacking, or you catch them in an area where there's, they're congested and you can fucking take off a lot of their heads, so be it if other people get hit. But you have to reflect back and look in the mirror as a man and understand that if you shot into a crowd of women and children homes and they got hit, that's on you. The same thing that will make you laugh will absolutely make you cry. You get locked up and incarcerated because you shot into a crowd of Southsiders as a Norteño or vice versa, and a little 4-year-old or a 5-year-old got hit. Well, now you become a child killer. Now, you're over here with Danny Masturbatorson. Now you're over here as a bottom of the barrel feeder because, you didn't handle your business correctly. The term pull up and pop, it sounds good. And in some cases it may be good, but truly, really, is it all that? Back in our days, there was more fist fights and stabbings and things of that nature. That's pretty much what it was in Northern California. There were shootings, don't get it twisted. In fact, we probably lost more soldados and more North and South got clipped in between fucking 92 to 2006. I think those were the years when it was functioning, when it was very hot. So there was a lot of fallen soldiers, a lot of people that got their lives took because they were representing one thing or another, the barrio. But this shit that happened in King City, man, it's a massacre. It's tragic. It's big. From what I'm hearing, man, the word on the curb is, here's some knowledge you can't get in college, that it was a north-south incident. That, there was some vatos that were in the game that got recognized, got figured out, their whereabouts, and vatos pulled up and decided to take the initiative and to take the chance because they had them in their scope. They had them, they had them point blank. And in this case, man, 11 people were shot. Okay, that's a lot of people for one incident. Usually you hear about 2 or 3, one dies and so on and so forth, right? But in this incident right here, 11 people, let that sink in, 11 people were shot and 4 of them are deceased, right? That's sticky. That's very tricky dance moves. That right there, whoever gets caught for this case, when they are apprehended, that's life times 4, X4. There you go, right? From what I'm hearing, man, this incident was, like I said, north-south, and I can't elaborate much more on the reasonings behind it, the who's, the whens, the where's, the 5 W's. I can't give that to you because it's an ongoing investigation, and I'm sure whoever gets incarcerated for this, they're done. That's it. Your whole life of gangbanging and your whole life led up to this point, and I would like to say something. When I was young and I was dumb and I was out there gangbanging and I was full of shit and I was indoctrinating the younger homies into holding the guns for me and doing the same things that I was doing, I never thought about my family, my friends, my children, other people's families. They were the last ones on my agenda. If I'm not thinking about mine, I'm definitely not thinking about yours or the enemies or what their mother's going to do and how they're going to bury their kid. I didn't care at that point because I felt in my heart that my whole mission and purpose in life was to eradicate the other side, to get rid of vatos, man, that were in my way. But in my way of what? I was still going to eat tortillas. I still was going to step on roaches at my pad. I still was going to wait till the food stamps hit to go to Food for Less. I still was going to Miller's Outpost buying silver tabs. I still was doing the same thing I was going to do the day before after this vato was deceased. Why did he have to lose his life? Because I thought I was somebody. See, I was already somebody. I just didn't know it yet. But I understand when you're involved in that gang life, man, you don't care. You lose all sense of morality. That's part of the game. That's what you signed up for. And you hear a lot of these youngsters and a lot of people saying, hey, homie, anyone can get it, this, and that. And it sounds good. And in some cases, I guess it might feel good. But when you really sit down for a long time and you have life without the possibility of parole, there's going to be a time when you wake up when you get about 40, 45 years old, right? And you say to yourself, damn, homie, fuck, I've been locked up 15, 20 years for a vato I didn't even really know, you know. Come to find out, man, he was your fucking prima's homeboy's homeboy, right? And you're like, damn, small world. And now you're sitting there doing life, doing the same old damn thing, trying to play the cool role. And you get tired, because everybody gets tired. And I'm not going to say that the vatos are going to drop out or flip or go to the other side, man. I've seen old OGs, old heads, real ones, man, hold it down forever. Because they have nothing else to hold on to, like in Vogue. You understand? Some of these guys that you think, man, oh, they're solid. The homeboy's a good camarada, a good homeboy, man. He's 50, 60 years old. He's still down. What choices does he have? There's door A and door B. He's already went through door A and he's doing life without. Door B is just a fucking another door, man, that leads to nowhere. There's nowhere for this man to go. So, of course, he's going to hold it down. He's not going to flip. There's no reasoning to unless his life becomes in danger or something of that nature. And then that's when you're really going to pay the piper and test and you know, test that meter and see where he's at. You know, just because vatos flip or drop out or do whatever they do, man, I never judged them because I understood that, you know, vatos get tired of the game. They get tired of constant lockdown. They get tired of, you know, having to beg for money to be put on their books. They get tired of, you know what I'm saying? They run out of fucking room on their body to tattoo, homie. Once you run out of room, that's it. It's over. You're done. There should be a limit. When you run out of room to get tattooed, homes, you're done. But it happens. So these people that are going to get arrested on this King City incident, you know, they got a lifetime of nada coming. You know, of course, they're going to get locked up and they're going to be a good homie because, you know, they smoked 4 people. And it was a gang-related issue, a north and south thing, allegedly. And, you know, but that shit gets old. Give it about a week, homie, and you're not the talk of the town anymore. You're just another homeboy doing live and get in line and here, hoop that. That's it. That's what you got coming. You know, when I see incidences like this, tragedies, you know, that involve innocent people or pedestrians or fucking, you know, civilians, you know, I reflect back to some of the crime I did and I think, you know, this doesn't just impact those people and their familias. It impacts the community, it impacts the way the officers now think. And, you know, it only makes taxpayers and people in the community scared and think we need to give these guys more guns, you know, the officers, and we need to apply more pressure to gangs, and then RICOs start happening. And then homies that are just trying to mind their own business and function on the yard and get high a little bit, they're getting snatched up. And one little thing, one incident, this is not a little incident, this is a big thing, can lead furthering steps to something bigger. And eventually, man, vatos are going to get upset. Damn, bro, if you would have never fucking did some stupid shit, bro, we'd have been good. Now we're all fucked up because of you. Baboso, right? So here you are, think big time gangbanger, man, I handled my business, bro, I smoked everyone. Okay, well now we're going to smoke you on the yard, bro, because guess what, bro, my connection is scared to come in anymore because they put more security. So now fuck you, I need to get high. And that's just it. Unfortunate. So anyways, this incident, when I seen it, you know, it happened a couple days ago. I initially immediately didn't want to do anything on it right from the gate just because I hate to touch on ongoing investigations for the fact that I don't want anyone to feel like I'm speaking out of turn or speaking on something that I don't know nothing about. I try to do my homework and try to give you guys the best klecha, the best knowledge you couldn't get in college when it pertains to a situation. You know, if people are partying, here's my philosophy on things. There's been plenty of times, man, when I could have smoked someone or I could have did something bad to someone. I'm sure there's been plenty of times that I was lacking and I didn't even know it and they could have got me. And by the grace of God or some higher power, whatever you believe in, I felt like a shield was around me and I was protected. And I'm going to tell you guys just a little story, man. You know, my condolences to the familias of the fallen people in King City. And this tragedy is going to play out how it plays out, man. Vatos will be apprehended. There's nowhere you could run. When you do a crime in front of a lot of people, masks don't help you. Not nowadays. Nowadays, they could follow that truck or whatever vehicle they pulled up in. They're going to look at every camera from here to wherever you're from and be at your doorstep. Next morning, open up his eyes, guns, badges, blue suits, and white guys, brother. Coffee? All right? Only they're not going to want your coffee. They already had their shot for the morning. They're just going to fucking have handcuffs and billy clubs. And that's what it is. So here's an incident that took place with me, man, that, you know, Could have got a lot of individuals smoked, but I had to think. And I was very active at this point in my life. I was very with the business and the program. I thought I knew it all and couldn't no one tell me shit. I was gangbanging for reals in real life. Okay, I know you see my persona now and the way I am, and I want nothing more than people to prosper, have a bag, have it their way, and live, and enjoy steak and carne asada. But at the same time, man, in them days, I didn't give a fuck. As long as I got my burrito from the taco truck, I didn't care what you ate, right? I didn't care how you lived or what it was, because I was selfish, I was greedy, I was treacherous, I was vicious, and at the same time, man, my mind was discombobulated, and I was out there trying to scramble other people's minds, just the way it was, right? So I'm at a party, and the homegirl, there was a guy there in the town. I'm not going to mention any names in this one. There was a guy, because I've kind of told this story, but there was a guy that had been putting in work. Let's just say that. He was someone who was a thorn in our side, and he was another norteño. But he was an active, super fucking active, man. I remember I used to hate him just because he was putting in much more work than I was. Facts. Shot a gang of homeboys, put in all that work, man. Was ringing bells, out there rapping, doing all kinds of shit. Just was into that lifestyle. We wanted to smoke his ass. We wanted him gone, hums. We wanted that vato out of here, okay? Just because of envy, jealousy, and because every time someone tried to get on his head, he was able to duck and dodge. Like he was from LA. He was able to escape. We weren't feeling that. So, we're having a big old party, nothing but homies, righteous homies. And this chick, she's a homegirl. She tells me, hey, bro, I know where that fool's at right now. He's lacking. He's with the chick at the homegirl's pad. They're kicking it. Easy money. So, automatically, in her mind, she's thinking she's doing us a favor, right? Like, hey, I'm a down homegirl. Hey, man, come kill this guy. He's over here. The setup is real, okay? Very real. And in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, you're gone too. You're gone because there's no way I'm going to let you get on the stand and talk about this conversation. So not only did she, by opening her mouth and saying that, she sealed her fate too at that point, right? So I get at a couple homeboys that I really didn't even care for. And one good solid camarada, a good homeboy. And I'm like, hey, bro, it's me and you and the rest of these poop butts. Look, bro, hey, we're going to go over here. This is what we're going to do. Whoop-de-whoop, right? Everybody was with the program. You can't say no. You know what you signed up for, right? So we jump in a vehicle. We jump in, and there's this black chick, and of course the homegirl, and it's the black chick's house, right? But she kicked it with Mexicana. She liked chorizo. Some Hainas like it. You know what I'm saying? They liked it. They would say, like, once they taste it, it's a little spicy, it's chorizo. ¿Sabes qué? Then they just can't get the taste out of their fucking throat. So we mobbed to her pad. And the whole time I'm thinking, I'm the oldest homeboy. Basically, it's on me. I'm like, damn, what am I doing here? He's got to go. He's got to go. These two chicks got to go. The chick that this fool's with got to go. He's got to go. Damn, there ain't enough holes in the desert for this shit. We're going to be there all night, right? And of course, it's me and the homeboy till the wheels fall off because he's a solid one. So as I get there and I approach this pad, it's gonna be a mass shooting. It's gonna be a massacre here. And I remember thinking, are you really willing to go to prison forever? You're gonna get caught. There's no way that they're gonna let this fly. Do you hate this guy that much because he looks like you, or you feel he's emulating you, or you're trying to emulate him? Is it that serious that you're going to kill all these people or do something bad to all these people because you don't like one guy's style, because he does it a little harder than you? And as I knocked on that door with my gun to handle fucking business, right? I had a last minute thought in my head. I don't know if it was God or who it was, right? She definitely wasn't my fat celly, right? It was somebody, and they told me, and it was like a voice in the back of my head said, don't do it. Have a heart. And I knocked on that door, and Vato was like, hey, who is that? And I said, hey, bro, this is whoop-de-whoop. You're surrounded, homie. You know what I mean? Look, bro, you got to jump out that window and get the fuck on, bro. We're going to get to smoking. It is what it is. It's up to you. Now, I can hear the gun cock. So I'm thinking, okay, I better not stand in front of the door. He's going to get to blasting. That's the type of person this guy was. He was a gangster, a real one, right? And then I hear a window open and Speedy Gonzalez, he's gone, right? Which, that's probably the route I would have took too, since I'm called the runner anyways, right? I'd have ran the fuck up out of there. And that was that. I was able to avoid that situation because I thought for a second. Now, in this King City incident, I don't think these guys were thinking straight. I think sometimes wanting that clout or wanting to look cool in the homie's eyes clouds your judgment. Now, again, with this incident, I don't know everything that led up to it. They could have lost the homeboy. This could have been a back and forth thing, a personal issue. And sometimes them things happen, like the Goshen Massacre. You know, a lot of people are so keyed and focused on, you know, the baby and the girl that died. And of course, that's a bad look. That's a bad thing. But in the meantime, in between time, you have to understand that this was a back and forth issue. You know, the people that were victims, yes, man, they didn't absolutely get the guy that they wanted to get, but the guy that you know, that they were aiming for, targeting, allegedly, you know, had put in a lot of work. So it was it was more personal than just North and South. It started from a gang, now we're here, and it was something else, right? So, you know, all I could say in the King City thing is we'll watch and see what happens. But when incidences like this happen, things occur, massacres, man, bloodbaths, you know, where 4 people lose their life and 11 are hit, that's a big deal, man. That's a lot of fucking people. You know, imagine, and there's a lot that comes after it. Yes, if these guys get incarcerated and caught for it, they're gone. The people that are deceased, they're gone. The families have to understand and live with that trauma forever. And the people that were there that survived this, you know, they have to live with that. And let me tell you, man, I've been shot twice. Once in the back of my head, and it's something I relive every day. It's something that I come to an understanding. And even though it was just, you know, someone that shot me a cripa, he was misinformed and it was wrong person, wrong place, wrong time. Still, to this day, I hear it. I hear the shot. I feel it. I have to feel the big lumps on the back of my head every day and understand and know that, you know, it could have been just like that. Lights out. It was until I woke up. I got another chance. And even then, I got right back in the mix and started gangbanging. I just shifted my Mongolian to the side a little bit. You know, that's just, I guess I know what I signed up for. But here I was getting shot, trying to mac to some hyenas. And it had nothing to do with gangs, at least on my part. Anyways, you have to think before you do shit. If you're going to do something, do it the right way and understand that it impacts and affects the whole community, the whole surroundings. That King City tragedy, man, is definitely another one where I don't see anyone getting clout or notoriety from it, North or South. And if it was a North and South issue, it's not the first one or the last one. And that's the cool part of the game. You know, I was talking with the homeboy yesterday, trip out on this, and he's from the San Jose area, and he's a good father, man, a great father, in fact, you know, loves his kids. He has a son that's getting to that age where he likes to dress nice, look clean, you know, he's hip. That's how them boys are, man. That's how I was, you know, I stay fly. And once you get to that age where you start to recognize, you know, brands and all that, you know, it's cold because his son wants to dress a certain way, and my homeboy has to tell him, nah, you can't do this. He has an actual list. You can only wear these colors, or you can only dress this way. He doesn't have the freedoms to do what he wants to do because he doesn't want his son to be mistaken for a gang member and killed. That's fucked up. Every night you go to sleep, you have a kid that goes to school, goes out there, and someone can mistake them because of the colors they're wearing or the Cortezes they got on for a gang member. And because it's up in Sacra and San Jose and fucking Merced and all Northern California and Southern California. And when I mean by up, the gang violence is up. You have to worry every day, man, if your kid's going to make it back. You know, the people from King City are not. And that's unfortunate. With that being said, I hope that you move smooth with a purpose. Get everything that you want coming. Yeah, I wasn't that funny in this one. A little melodramatic gun. But at the same time, man, when I got something real to speak on, I'm going to speak it really. And that's facts, you know. With that being said, thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive, struggle, and strive for what I honestly and truly believe in. And that's giving you guys some good game, some real content, man. It doesn't always have to be funny. Sometimes it's serious, man. Not Eddie Murphy delirious. I know I got him curious, but at the end of the day, I understand that in order to give you guys the real, I have to keep it real. Thank you.